Alright, well, if I have everything working right, I should be recording now. So let's start here. Get everybody open again. Oh, I have it open from last time. Cool. Where I can see them. Alright, well, let's see if my macros work. We're going to start with initiative for the turn. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's going to be a roll off. 3 10s. Jesus. Alright, what is the command for rolling a dice? Yes. Red Bardo. Okay, guys, come on now. Target 10. Monday 10, then Cargate. Okay, so Cargate's going to go first. And we'll have a roll off between these two now. A lot of rolling right off the bat. 10, 7, and Red Bardo is second. Red Bardo. Okay, Red Bardo really want to go first. Well, second, technically. Well, now we resolved that three-way tie. It's House of Sages, Grime Trekkers, and then way at the end, Birdsey. They're taking their time. Alright, so let me pull up my list of what actions the Carget are going to do here. But before I do that, I'm going to do 1 rep for the turn, 1 coin for the turn, and 1 EXP before I forget. Alright, now let's see what they're doing. Alright, so it looks like the Carget are actually doing 2 events here. They're doing the Chateau de la Nuit and the Narrows, which I believe somebody else was trying to do the Narrows. Yes. So the Grim Trekkers ended up being a little too slow this time, so they're going to get an extra action. So I'm just going to note that in my notes over here. Action. And now we will roll the events here. Let me pull up my rule book, though. Order of operations here. Actions. Yep. Alright. So the first one that they're doing is the Chateau, which is actually fairly interesting because it's actually owned by the Were-Rats. So whenever you do an event on a turf that's owned by somebody else, you're actually going to get negative relation to them unless you pay a coin. So, where are you? There you are. Focus in. You guys are actually going to get a -1 here. I'm going to have to figure out. I think I just renamed it, didn't I? Look at me forgetting already after the first week. Alright, so I'm just going to make a note to do it later once I figure out how to do that here. So, -1 to Were-Rats. And what type of roll is it? It is a fiscal roll. Alright, so we'll go and roll a fiscal roll for the Cargat, which is a 1 dice. Yep, physical. Okay. They roll the 2, so if I recall the rules correctly, that is 2 heat here. Yep, a 1 to 3 is the reward plus 2 heat. And that reward was 2 rep. Yep, 2 rep. So they're going along the rep gauge pretty nicely here. When they get this whole gauge filled here, they'll be able to tier up, and that will help them claim territory a lot easier. And obviously the max level is 4, but we'll see who gets the first tier up. That'll be interesting. Alright, so second action was the Narrows, which is over here. That's a mental roll that they're better at, and it's for 2 coin and 1 EXP. So let's see how they do. They have 2 in mental. Yes, they do. Roll that. Mental. Before I forget, I'm going to give them that 2 heat from the previous event. Alright, here's the next roll. They are gathering a lot of heat. They're going to want to keep that in check here. But they still get the reward. 2 coin, 1 EXP. So, coin, coin. Go to the EXP gauge. So the EXP gauge, when that fills up, you can actually do a number of things. You can up your stats. You can buy some of the upgrades so that you can have a faster initiative or a coin bolt. I believe each level up you get 2 boxes worth basically. So you can get initiative and a coin bolt to store more coins. You can get a cohort, which allows you extra actions if you pay them money, along with a number of other things that you can do. So leveling up the EXP gauge is pretty nice as well. So I gave them the heat, I gave them the coin, and I gave them the EXP. So let's just double check. No special there. Okay, we will roll for entanglement, which will be particularly interesting here because they have so much heat. Okay, I'm blind. Where is it? Entanglements right here. Alright, so they are actually in the 4-5 range, which makes entanglements worse if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually 6. So they're in the worst heat zone here. So let's find out what ends up happening. So I made a shortcut to try to roll in the heat table. We'll see if this ends up working correctly. Okay, 6 heat. So they lose 3 coin or gain +1 heat and +1 harm to a cohort. Luckily, they don't have a cohort, so let's see. They just got all this coin. Do I want to be mean and take it away? Or do I want them really worried about their heat and almost getting a wanted level? Because when you fill up this gauge, you'll get a wanted level, and I'll apply a story thing to your guys' faction, usually negative, and it happens faction-wide. I think I'm going to take away all your coin. You guys haven't been very good recently in holding on to your money. Somebody either keeps stealing it or you keep spending it just to keep ahead of maybe the people from busting in on that church you guys have. So I'll be interested to see what story-wise you come up with, if anything, for why you lose 3 coin this turn. But hey, you're getting up on the rep, and you're getting up on the XP. So progress there. Alright. Believe that is the end of the turn for you guys. Let's go back to my order of operations. Click. Entanglements. You didn't do any trackers. You didn't level up. Okay. So we can put you guys over here. The Red Vardo Traders. Let's see what you guys are up to this turn. All right, yeah, this is right. So the Red Bardos also did a event that somebody else is doing, and unfortunately, it's the same one as the Grime Trekkers. So they got double hit here. I'm gonna have to think balance-wise if they only get one action next turn, since they're losing their whole turn this time, or if I give them two actions. Not exactly sure, but we'll see. Alright, so their first action was Howling Tunnels, but then they're gonna siege the East Warehouse. Okay, let's just get Howling Tunnels out of the way first. This is a physical roll for 1 EXP. Alright. So, physical wise, they are doing great too. What type of event is it? It is a transport event, which actually is something that they're working on. So, click on that. And that's one of their faction goals is to do 10 transport events, if you're wondering right there. Alright, did they upgrade this with any coin? I don't think they did. No, they upped the seizure claim. Alright, let's roll it. Physical. Alright, well, they got a 4, which is only 1 heat, and the reward of 1 EXP. That's right. Boop. Alright. And then they're going to try to siege a claim. The East Warehouse, so right north of them. Looks like they might be going for the coin per turn effect. Alright, well, let's add a tracker to them. Clock, it is only 1 distance away, so it's 4. Siege. West. Wait, west or east? I think it's east. East Warehouse. Alright. And they're doing a tier roll, but they paid 2 coin here to up it by 1 dice. So you can do that once per turn, if you have 2 coin to spare at least. And you always get your coin at the beginning of your turn, so if you have 1 coin, you can technically do that because you're going to get 1 coin at the start of your turn, so I will allow that if you have questions on that. So, alright, tier. 1 bonus dice. So this should, if it's doing it correctly, make it a flat dice roll, because normally at tier 0 you're rolling with disadvantage and you take the lowest dice. So let's see if this works correctly. Yikes. Alright, they rolled a 1. So that should be 1 clock here. I don't think there's any consequences for seizing a claim. Yeah, you just get 1 tick. So you need 3 more, and then that territory will be yours. So you're working on it. You might need 2 to 3 more actions to go ahead and get that fully claimed and expand your territory. Alrighty. Let us go here. I'm just going to check to make sure I gave them their daily thing. So I'm going to check their chat, see what their last turn looked like. Okay, so I didn't give them the rep and EXP and the coin. Need to remember the order of operations here so I don't forget anybody. Okay. Mistake avoided. Alright, so now they're going to have entanglement, which they are in the 4 heat bracket right now. So we will roll on the heat table. support heat bracket shows +2 heat or -1 to the highest status level. So, I think I'm gonna roll to see who you lose status with unless you are friends with somebody in particular. I think that's how I'm feeling today. Cause a little bit of drama. Let's focus. Zeros. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will roll a 1 die 7. 3. Alright. You did something with the Church of Ezra. And I really wish I knew how I had changed the number down here. But I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. So let me just make a note on the sheet here. The sheet that you can't see because I'm hiding it. -1. Church of Ezra entanglement. So, something you did pissed off the church, or at least they lost a little bit of liking to you. They're no longer neutral to you. They're slightly hostile. Maybe the Church of Ezra was doing something in the warehouses, or you're starting to claim the territory that they wanted. All right. So with that, I believe that's the end of your turn. We'll just double check. All right. Definitely did it. Yep. And I updated the objective trackers beforehand, so we're good there. Okay. Red Vardo's complete. All right, the Reniers here. Let us check the sheet. Okay, so once again, the Baritzis are lending out their services and getting aid in return. So I'm going to add into the notes +1 and +1, which should make you guys sitting at 2 relationship. And again, I don't know how to do it on the map at the moment. I didn't remind myself how to do that, so I will do it after the game and after the recording. +1. Okay, so that was their first action. Then they're going to continue to siege the West Gate with the +1 assist from the Baritzis. So, let me go back to my actual screen here. Actually, I once again forgot. Rep, coin, EXP. Okay, now we can do their actions, which was the assist. Obviously easy to do, and then they're going to try to claim the West Gate. So, it's going to be a tier roll. They have 1 extra dice from the assist, which again will basically negate the disadvantage. I believe they got a 50-50 shot of actually claiming that territory as theirs, but we'll check that in a second. 3. So close, but so far. That is 1 tick there. I will double check just to make sure. Yep, 1 tick. If they had gotten a 4 or higher, they would have been the first person to claim another territory. They're right there, though, so at least they know 1 more action and they'll get it. Which leads us to entanglement, and that is heat level 2. So let's roll on the heat table. They either get 1 heat or -1 coin. I'm going to give them heat. That way they get closer to the fun consequences if they don't manage their heat soon. And no stealth events, so we're good there. Speed rep. Yep. Okay. Believe that concludes the turn there. I'll just double check myself since I'm still fairly experienced on doing these turns. Okay, yep. Okay, we're good. Alright, the House of Sages here. Let's see what they are up to. Alright, so they lost an action last turn, so they get 3 actions this turn. And they are tripling down on something. They are tripling down on claiming the Chateau de Lune. Don't ask me. I don't know how to pronounce French things. So Castle of the Moon. They're going to go ahead and try to claim it 3 times. And if they get lucky, they're going to go ahead and do something else with their 3rd action. So just in case you're aware, if you have the chance of like taking something ahead of time, you can say that if it's already fully claimed, to do this action instead. So you can queue it up like that, like if slash or sort of things for your turn. Just let me know ahead of time, and I'll try to do my best there. I should probably again give out the free resources for the turn before I forget. All right, and now we're gonna roll some tier rolls. Let me see if they used. I don't think they used any coin to up any of these, but let me double check. Yes. Okay, so it's all straight rolls, all with disadvantage. So they have to get really lucky to actually claim this, but we'll see. So tier, first roll. Bam! Holy cow, they got a 4. That is actually 2 ticks. Claim Castle of Moon. I'm gonna do the English version since it's a little easier for me. 2 ticks. Because on a claim, a 4 is 2 ticks. Yep. Alright, so their second action. Let's see if they can pull that off again. Nope, they got a 2. Alright. Which means their last roll doesn't really matter too much. It's a 5. They would have gotten 2 ticks if it was bigger than 4, but there's no overfilling the gauge. So they have the claim of Castle of the Moon. So congratulations, you guys have the actual first territory. Oh, that's why I probably can't edit anything. Let's see if I remember my password. No. Alright, well, I'll worry about that later. Might be the wrong email too. Well, I will make a note to change that on the map after the recording here. And make a note to myself to log into the website first when starting next time. Claim Castle of the Moon. Success. Alright. Going back here. Okay, we did that. We need the tier roll for them. So what consequences? They're pretty low on heat, so it's probably not going to be too bad. Pay 1 coin to the highest status faction or lose 1 status with them. Let's take a look at the map here. I think I'm probably going to go with the minus to a faction and do a random roll again. Yep. So we'll do a 1 die 7, and they're going to lose status because I want to see some numbers on that gauge here. So we will roll 1 die 7. And we'll be counterclockwise, just like I did the other one. 3. Same result as last time. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. So they actually got minus with the NPC faction, the Were Rats. Let me note that down. House of Sages, -1 faction status with Were Rats. So people will be really messing with the Were Rats this turn and getting some negatives. So we'll see if that trend continues. Alright. That takes care of their entanglements, which should be the end of their turn here, because they can't level up. Put that over here. So, Grime Trekkers. Well, you do get your rep. Your coin is full. You were going to spend some of it, I know, so that wasn't wasted, but Unfortunately, since people beat you to both of your actions, it's going to overfill the vault and fall off. So you don't get a coin this turn, and you still get your EXP. And I'll talk with you in the Discord as to what we're going to do about you losing both turns and what my ruling will be on that. But I need to think about that for balance reasons because having 4 in one turn is pretty strong. All right, that's the Crime Tracker's turn, unfortunately. Probably the record for shortest turn. All right, the Baritzi. And again, let's get the rep, the coin, and the XP out of the way before I forget. All right, let's go ahead and review. I know one of theirs was the assist, which I already took care of in my notes. The other one is Claim the Bazaar. And they have the assist, but they're also upgrading their pool by +1 by spending 2 coin. So we're going to take off 2 coin. And we are going to roll a tier with a +2 bonus. Sorry, I got pinged on Discord for a second. So they're going to roll with a +2 bonus here to try and claim what is right next to them, I believe. Yep, the Bazaar, which looks like they're also going for a passive coin production here, which isn't a bad idea. Almost makes it to where you could add a extra dice to any of your rolls per turn. All right, so let's roll this baby. And they got a 4, so that's actually no, they didn't get a 4. They got a 6 because this is upgraded twice, so it negated the disadvantage down to 1 dice, and then they added another dice. So yeah, take the highest. So this is Claim Bazaar. It's right next to them, so it is a 4 o'clock, and a 6 is 3 dots. So they snaked right in and literally almost claimed it in one go. The only thing that could have gone better then is if they had gotten a crit, and that would have been immediate claiming, because that would have been 5 ticks. That would have been pretty cool. All right, so with that, we are moving to entanglements, I believe. Where is my rules again? There. Actions, yep, entanglements. Alright, so we will roll on the heat table, see what they get. Alright, so they got the freebie this turn, minus want coin equal to wanted level or minus equal to heat level. So, I was mean last time, I'm not going to be mean this time. Everybody's wanted level is, of course, 0. To remind you, wanted level makes it a lot of penalties worse as the game goes on. If you ever get up to 4 wanted level, your faction is completely destroyed. So you do want to manage your heat, but it's not the end of the world if you get 1 or 2 wanted levels. 3, you might want to be very hyper vigilant on heat because 4 will fully destroy you. Unless you want the story to evolve that way, that you guys are wiped out somehow. And that could be fun because then we will introduce another faction to the game, and either you can play it or there'll be an NPC potentially, depending on if you wanted to go join somewhere else. So, but that's a long ways off, so we don't have to worry about that for now. All right, so with that, I believe we wrap up on that. Let me go ahead and just double check here. So they didn't have any objective trackers beyond the claiming. I did the entanglement, Birds got off scot-free. So we're going to create new events. I created a roll all events button. So let's see if this one works here. And I think I'm going to stop the recording once I roll them here and post the events in the Discord so that you guys can see it while I do editing in the background. Other than that, go ahead and let me know if you had any questions or if you saw me make any mistakes. I'll go ahead and try to correct that as much as possible. So let's roll these events. Alright, so let's just make sure there's no doubles. So Rat's Tail, Slime-Ridden Tunnels, Chateau de Astres, de la Nuit, Howling Tunnels, Alanor. So there's 2 de la Nuit. So we will re-roll one of those. Okay, so this will be at the stocks instead. So this one actually isn't there. This one is. Alright, any of them doubles? Okay, yeah, but I'll roll that off screen. Okay, I think that wraps it up. Thanks again, guys, for playing my weird faction game, and I'll talk to you in the Discord. Have a good one.